The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Machakos region debates of the Great Debaters Contest, and I am your host, Austin Nyombo.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Welcome to the show. We have Mumbuni boys versus Muthale girls, and we're living in a continent ravaged by war and a world where peace is fragile. So we're asking, is war ever justified? We'll have these debaters take the stage and answer that question for us. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
There comes a time when a nation is more important than an individual. Vanessa Ndunge, Muthale girls, strongly proposing to the motion, war is never justified. War, this is the absence of peace. We're relating it to justify. This is trying to bring something to be an acceptable existence. In Syria, recently, we had where it was bombed, and this led to 250,000 people dying. How do we justify the deaths? Recently in Manchester, UK, where a 23-year-old extra-list, where he bombed, leading to 25 people dead and 7 children included. How do we try to justify death, which brings to the death of children who are innocent, who never took part in anything? When countries come up and start fighting, this makes them concentrate more on the fight and not on the development. This brings development stagnation. This makes us concentrate on making up weapons, making up chemicals, which will help us fight those people more easily than trying to sit down and concentrate on the basic needs which we need to bring to our people. Thank you.
Okay, opposition, you have 3 minutes to give us your opening statement.
This is my fight song, get out my life song, my power stand on. There was never a good war and a bad peace. This is Ian Muriuki from the school to be Mumbuni High School, here to oppose the motion which states war is never justified. Let's break down the motion. What is war? War is a situation of aggressive competition between two groups, two companies, or two states. From the Oxford Dictionary, we can also say this is a fight or an effort over a period of time to implement or gain something. Justified means having a good reason for doing good. War is caused by humanitarian catastrophe. Let's take an example. The Rwanda Genocide. Rwanda, 1994, hundreds of thousands of citizens were killed in a range of 100 days. That means in a day, 100 people were killed. So, tell me, would you watch your mother get killed? Will you watch your father get killed? Will you watch your daughter or son get killed? And that, from their aspect, was justice. Justice can be legal, but legitimate. It is done for a good reason. And the reason was they were fighting for their rights, not to be killed. War can be caused also by human rights abuse. Imagine, I'm a state. I come in your country, ask to stay in your country, and then here am I trying now, take the slaves, take the others, take your workers, and now I can even decide, kill them how I want, use them how I want. Is it justice? No. So, war is justified. If I want to fight for my own rights, I will, using war, if there's no other way. Ian Muriuki, Mumbuni School. Thank you.
Thank you. We're ready to hear rebuttals, beginning with Muthale. You have 3 minutes.
Well, peace is more important than all justice. And peace was not made for justice, but justice was made for the sake of peace. These are the words of Mahatma Gandhi. We are living in a world, in an Africa that is ravaged by war. An Africa that needs us to stand for it. But really, why should we fight? Well, when the Rwanda Genocide occurred, it was incited by officials of the Hutu community. They told the locals to fight the Tutsi, the minority Tutsi. This led to one of the weirdest things that has ever happened in the history of mankind. 800,000 Tutsi were killed. After that, the Tutsi saw that they had been fought and they were being killed. And you know what they did? They also took up arms and fought. You know, they didn't fight just because fighting is fun. No, it isn't. It took their loved ones. It took their sisters. It took their friends. It took their teachers and those siblings they would look up to. That's what war did to them. And worse, they fought back. 2 million Hutu people. The Hutu were displaced. 2 million refugees. There's an account of one person who says, I was riding one night. While I was riding, my child at the back of the vehicle told me, Dad, aren't there too many bumps on the road? I got the shock of my life. When I opened the door and looked outside, I had been riding over dead bodies. This is an account of an individual from Rwanda who witnessed the Rwandan Genocide. People were killed. Do you want to lose somebody in your life? People are displaced. How many people can the nation of Kenya take? How many people can we take hungry in the streets? How many? During the 2007-2008 post-election violence, approximately 1,000 people died. Approximately, it's an approximation. But of all those who have died, how many IDPs do we have in Kenya? How many are crying out every single day, government will need to be resettled? And do you know something? Kenya, we are too many. We can't always expect every one of us to have at least 100 hectares of land. We can't expect that. But you know what the post-election violence did? It displaced people. It brought hatred. There was a time a Kikuyu and a Luo could not sit together. Do you know why? Because of post-election violence. The war that murdered our nation in blood. A nation that has become poor. Living in Kibera has taught me a lot. Seeing people suffer because of what they did in the post-election violence. The leaders were eating in their very big houses and having fun while we were suffering, killing our fellows. Is this what you want? Thank you.
Mumbuni boys, you have 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
My name is Shaban Swale, Mumbuni boys. They say that difficulties arouse war, but not peace. Here's a fact. Don't tell us that justice is the way for peace. When today you keep on celebrating Mashujaa Day, you keep on celebrating that your forefathers and your grandfathers have fought for war with the British, and today we are free, independence. What if there was no war? We could be here. We could be ruled like maggots. Secondly, it's about civil wars. Let's take an example. In Baringo, in Marsabit and in Mandera, the cattle rustlers, those guys, they have weapons. They are armed. Why? They need to justify themselves. They don't need their belongings to be taken. Because if we try to become innocent, they'll have advantages to us. From various holy books, like the Quran, there are some surahs, there are some verses that God legalizes war for those who discriminated certain religions. In the Bible, in 1 Samuel chapter 29, it says that God legalized the Israelites against the Palestinians so that they can get the rights. So what's that? That is justice indeed. You cannot injustify war. Why? Because war by itself is justice. You can't say that bloodshed, loss of property, loss of currency is what makes war unjustified. Because since God created us, there has never been war without fights. There has never been war without violence. There has never been war without loss of lives. Employment, soldiers, armed people. These people, they take oaths They swear that they'll go have missions to conduct. You can't say that is injustice. That's a promise, that's an oath. That's a swear that they made to themselves. Finally, I want to say this Swahili proverb that says, amani haiji ila kwa ncha ya upanga. Thank you.
Muthale girls have been asked if, for example, we did not go to war for our independence, what kind of situation would we be in, or would we even be independent? The opposition have been asked, are there no other ways of solving our problems aside from going to war? We'll have them respond. Third proposer, you have 3 minutes.
War is the greatest that can affect all humanity. It destroys life. It destroys religion. It destroys a state. It destroys families. I'm Faith Mawea, Muthale girls. Do you know how many times I walk inside a mall and I get this fear down my spine? How many times I get sweaty palms when I find myself among a crowd? Do you know why? It's called fear. It's called trauma after the Westgate Mall attack. It's fear after the 2007-2008 post-election violence. It left fear. There were images, the mutilated bodies are imprinted in our minds. Do you know that feeling of there's some dark shadow lurking behind somewhere, waiting to pounce on innocent people, waiting to kill innocent people out of malicious reasons? Yes, that's what war is doing to us. It's inflicting fear among us, among Kenyans, among the whole world. You talk of fight for independence, then tell me, why are we here trying to come to an agreement whether war is justified? Why didn't we both come with pangas, clubs, clobber each other, beat each other because we're disagreeing? That's what happened during the independence. We can come to an amicable agreement, make a compedious argument, and come up with a solution to our problems. War is not the only solution. Just imagine those poor children who saw their parents being brutally murdered, who saw the bodies of their loved ones mutilated beyond recognition. Tell me, how long will it take for those children to get over the nightmares, those awful dreams in the middle of the night where some evil man is coming to slaughter your head or coming to kill your family? How long before their life goes back to normal? That is, if it will ever go back to normal. And you stand here to tell me that war is justified, shedding of innocent blood is justified, just because you just feel war is justified because it's the only solution. No, war is not the only solution. Why don't you just calm down, sit and agree? All those resources we waste in investing in chemicals, making nuclear weapons, why don't we stop that? Why don't you even support the SDG program? Why waste all that money buying ammunition if we can use that money to buy textbooks for poor children, children who cannot afford education? Why not educate all children? Why not let them grow with the mentality that you don't have to fight? Why don't we put war and fight in the past? Why do we let war just be a word in the dictionary, a word just to be thought about, not a reality? War is never to be justified. Peace, and I preach peace. Muthale girls, Faith Mawea.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
To be prepared for war is one of the most effective way of preserving peace. I say this in terms of, there's one question that I was told. Was it war the only solution? They say when negotiation skill cannot come to a good contact or cannot be in a place that we can relate with others, then an action has to be taken. And one person said that action speaks louder than word. So it is up to us to join us in this war to prevent those people who are interioring into our country so that we can live in a better country. As I take the example of the independence, was it no for the freedom fighters to implement a way so that they can remove these Africans, the Europeans, from this nation? Then it wasn't a good way for negotiation. They were to struggle. They were to struggle so that they can get good thing. And one person say, if an expectant mother does not deliver a normal way, then what is required? You can answer that. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to hear our final submissions from both teams. Ladies, you have 1 minute.
Even if I was to be told that the world tomorrow will be in pieces, I would still plant up an apple tree. Why this? I would still preach the hope. I will still preach the peace. I will still preach the importance of not fighting, of not war, because I believe that war is never justified. Thank you.
Gentlemen, you also have 1 minute.
Let's make this motion fair, complete, and sensible. War is justice by itself. Because if the independence during the British colonialism, if we could behave like babies and then start saying, okay, these white people, let them come, let them rule us, we won't be here today. The judges will be here today. You guys will be here today. This country will be here now. In short, what am I trying to say? Let justice be part of war. Let war be justice. Thank you.
So to Muthale girls, Vanessa, very fair definition of terms. That was a good attempt. Fair submissions as well when you talked about the death of the innocent. But you give the example of Syria. It was good for you to give the citation and even the number of deaths that we're experiencing, okay? It's been some time and the war is still ongoing, so we needed to hear that. Very confident speaker as well. However, you underutilized your time when you came through, and so that one was penalized. Grace, good start as well. Cross-examination, you talked about the Rwanda. And you know, the first speaker, that was Ian, when he spoke about Rwanda. I thought you would have cross-examined that probably, but you came in and gave an example. Remember that your role is cross-examination. However, good utilization of time, and I think you're very powerful as a speaker in your team. Faith, good submissions as well, that engaged us, and that you're a good speaker as well.
Mumbuni Boys High School. That was good use of rhetoric questions. I liked your style and presentation. That was Ian. And mastery of language was good. And then Sebastian Swale, you started on a very low note. When you're giving a speech, it is important to have a powerful introduction. So in future, work on that. And then I kind of found you maintaining the same monotone. So the passion and conviction got lost because of the monotone you had maintained in your presentation. And then finally, Patrick Mutua, that was good, but in future, add in some more passion and conviction. Thank you.
Muthale girls, you are awarded 63%. Please give them a round of applause. Mumbuni boys, you are awarded 61%, making Muthale girls the winners of this debate. Please give both teams a round of applause.
Very well. Congratulations to the two teams on stage. We'd like to thank our studio audience and our viewers back home. Keep watching. Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1. I've been your host, Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. We'll see you next time.
The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.